Right, and what an exciting group stage for the Champions League that was. I mean, so many twists and turns, big hitters getting knocked out, Diego Simeone's absolute embarrassment. But a couple months ago, I made a predictions of the Champions League, and we've so far proven this season that when it comes to predictions, I'm about as useful as a mute person in a spelling bee. Impact of Liz Truss as a Prime Minister. But what I thought I'd do today was look back at these predictions and see how badly I did. And to be fair, I got a few ones right that people wouldn't have expected, but I also got a few shambolic predictions to balance it out. I mean, but can you blame me? Who would have got these predictions all right? Club Brugge are in the last 16, people.
Never sing it down.
Let's start with Group A, 4th place Napoli. What a joke! That has to be one of the worst predictions I've ever needed. Last place Napoli. I called Napoli irrelevant, that they're going to be overhyped, and that they're going to get 1 point in the entire group. What was I thinking? My God, how can you take me seriously as a YouTube football personality when I can't even predict Napoli to at least get through to the next round? Napoli were incredible in this group stage. I mean, they were scoring goals for fun. They made an absolute embarrassment of Liverpool on the first day. Made the likes of Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold look like they were learning the sport for the first time. Scored 6 against Ajax. Scored about 8 against Rangers. And then on the last day, yeah, they lost to Liverpool, but I've never seen 2 more scrappy goals in my entire life. How the hell did I put them last? 3rd place Ajax. Well, I got it right, but oh no. Ajax, unfortunately, they weren't particularly terrible. Their big issue was that they just conceded too many goals. Yeah, they got the 6 points against Rangers, and for parts of both Liverpool games, they looked like they could have got something out of it, but Liverpool just outclassed them. They were unlucky on match day 2, unfortunately. But yeah, a correct prediction, but at what cost? 2nd Rangers. I put Rangers to get to the knockout stage. I put Rangers. They were the worst Champions League side of all time. Honestly. You could have replaced them with Norwich and they probably would have done more in this group. That's how terrible Rangers were. I mean, they broke so many records. Conceded the quickest hat-trick in Champions League history. Conceded the most amount of goals ever in Champions League history. Lowest point to worst performing team in Champions League history. I mean, you were in the same competition as Victoria Pleasant, and you somehow did worse than them. I know Celtic didn't do much better, but at least they were as shambolic and useless as this Rangers team that had no fight, no end product. I mean, in the first Liverpool game, they really should have scored 1 or 2. They had a few chances, but their finishing was appalling. That goalkeeper, oh God, my dad could probably save some of those goals. Useless performance. And first I put Liverpool. I mean, it's a bit unfair this one, because in any other year, getting 15 points and scoring 6 in one match would usually get you first spot, but Napoli were just that good and destroyed us in match day 1. Apart from that failure on match day 1, we were pretty brilliant in every game. I mean, the second game, yeah, it was a last minute winner, but we were the better team for most parts of that game. Rangers, both games we were outclassed. And then in the Ajax game, we were fantastic. And Napoli, yeah, we had parts where we were weak. We conceded an offside goal, but in the end, near the end, our quality was shown, and we did get those 2 scrappy goals over the line. 4th place Club Brugge.
You bastard, you've done it again!
Where is the card?
Thank God they didn't get 3rd, because that would be back-to-back me predicting the group winner to get last. That has to be another terrible prediction on my part. I mean, Club Brugge, I thought they were about as inspiring as a pancake smeared in poo. I thought they'd be about as exciting as the new Avatar trailer. I mean, it didn't really give anything away, did it? But in actuality, Club Brugge really bottled getting that top spot. And what incredible, to beat Porto 4-0, to do all that stuff was fantastic. 3rd, Bayern Leverkusen. Well, I got it right. Wasn't really much, was it? Wasn't really that impressive. Because again, I said Atletico would get 2nd. In my fairness, most people would have said that Diego Simeone's boy would absolutely clean this group and get maximum points. But I was one of the few people who said, no, this will be strong. But even I thought they could scrape second in this poor Europa League standard group. But honestly, they were dreadful. They only got 5 points. And they were abysmal. Absolutely terrible. And first, I got Porto, so I got that one right. I mean, I think I'm one of the few people who get Porto. And Porto must be creasing right now, because Liverpool can get Porto in the next round. And if we get Porto, I mean, it's the end of the road for them, I'm sorry. Let's move on to Group C. Last place, Victoria Plzen. Yeah, I got it right! My great nan with dementia probably could have got that one right. Third place, Barcelona. This has to be one of the best predictions I've ever made. Was I the only one who foresaw this for Barcelona, that this shambolic and that the Wicked Elves would come back to play? The Wicked Elves, what, my mother in 2008? But I got the group spot on. Second place, Inter Milan. I just knew Inter were a better, professional, well-drilled team that could grind out the results against Barcelona they needed. I mean, Inter deserved this, and I really hope they get a decent draw in the next round. So I hope they play Tottenham or something, because Inter did so well. And first, Real Madrid. First place, Bayern Munich. I mean, they got maximum points. They brought it home. I saw that coming. I got Group C spot on. I don't know many other people. Right, Group D, I'm scared of this one. Fourth place, Sporting Lisbon. Oh, this was almost a turmoil. In fairness, this group honestly was so open-headed that anyone could have gone anywhere. And on the final day, I mean, there was a time where Tottenham won the Europa League, then they were second, then they were third. I mean, this is like just picking a name out of a hat on this group. But Sporting were a bit unlucky to not qualify, to be honest. I feel quite bad for them. I mean, I hope they have a good Europa League run, because they did bottle it to Frankfurt near the end, but they were probably the best team in this group. Did really well against third place, Marseille. Oh, it was so close. If Marseille would have just held on to that draw for a few more seconds, they could have got third in the group, but unfortunately, I couldn't do it. Second place, Frankfurt. Yes! What What? Incredible prediction! If you don't believe me, watch it back. I said that there's a thing about Europa League winners always doing well in the next Champions League. Honestly, just ask through the lottery numbers. I know I started off poor with the Napoli and Club Brugge predictions, but the Barca prediction, this Frankfurt prediction, when I saw that Frankfurt had beat Sporting, I felt more happier than when Liverpool beat Ajax at the end. Honestly, that was my favourite moment of that entire Champions League, just because I thought that prediction was going to be a shamble, and they just pulled it off in the end. First place, Tottenham. Well, I got that one right as well. But Tottenham don't really deserve to be top of this group, because they were woeful in most of the games and barely scraped through. They only looked good in their game against Marseille at home, I believe. Or was it away? I don't know. One of the games against Marseille was their only convincing performance to me. And Conte almost bottled the easiest Champions League group. A group that really is a Europa League group. I mean, Frankfurt, Sporting, Marseille, that's Europa League fodder, mate. Then we got Group E. Last place, Dynamo Zagreb. Yeah, of course I got it right. Third, AC Milan. Oh, this was the one thing that I got wrong. I said Atletico wouldn't top the group. That was controversial. I said Barcelona wouldn't get through. That was controversial. But this one didn't quite work. Look, Milan, they weren't super convincing. They did decent against Chelsea in both games. But they were poor against Chelsea in both games. And honestly, I think they're going out in the round of 16. Second, RB Salzburg. Nope. And first, Chelsea. I mean, on the first match day, this prediction was in proper shambles. Prediction wasn't looking good in the beginning. After that loss to Dynamo Zagreb and a draw to RB Salzburg, I was creasing that AC Milan could pull off a miracle here. But nope, Chelsea did win the group in the end. Fourth place, Shakhtar. Oh, Shakhtar. Nope, that one's wrong. They got a draw in Real Madrid and weren't terrible. Good luck in the Europa League. Third place, Celtic. Why did I back Scottish teams so much? Did I not realise that the Scottish teams are on par with mid-table teams like Crystal Palace and Aston Villa? If Aston Villa was in Group F, I wouldn't say they'd get third. If Crystal Palace was in Group A, I'd say they'd be bottom of the group. I mean, why did I look at them any different? But Celtic, yeah, you weren't very good, but you did better than Rangers, so I guess you can carry that fake trophy. Second place, RB Leipzig. And third, Real Madrid. I mean, again, I think my sister could have got those predictions. I mean, I said Real Madrid would get every point available, but they lost to Leipzig and got a draw to Celtic, I believe it was. Or no, it was Shakhtar, sorry. Group G, 4th place Copenhagen. Is it really a win they got it right? They were 3rd place Sevilla. Yes! Sevilla really did not deserve 3rd place in this spot. They were so uninspiring throughout the competition. They looked like they were just waiting to get to the Europa League, and I feel bad for Copenhagen because they were put a lot more fight and care into it. 2nd place Dortmund. I mean, Dortmund did the job, lost to Man City twice, but 3 draws at the end. Sorry, I don't keep up with Dortmund. Jude Bellingham showed why he's one of the best prospects of the future, and yeah, pretty standard. And 3rd, Man City, they wiped the floor pretty much everyone. They drew to Copenhagen, but like, who cares? Group H, 4th place Maccabi Haifa, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, it got 4th. Obviously it did. 3rd place Juventus. Yes! I knew Juventus were useless. When are people gonna realise that these guys are finished? That whatever's going on at Juventus, they need a new manager because they're dug into a hole and they're stuck in it. I'm so proud of this prediction. 2nd place Benfica. This was so bloody close. This went down to the point where head-to-heads were tied, goal difference was tied, goal score was tied. It went down to away goals. It was so close to being FIFA co-official ranking. That's how tight it was. But Benfica, I just knew, even though with the loss of Darwin Núñez, they would still be incredible in this round. And if we get Benfica in the next round, I would be scared because I think they're a very solid team that could have a bit of a run in this competition. 1st, PSG. PSG did the classic. Messi scored a couple of great goals that everyone was hyping up. I tell you, Messi just scores something that if Danny Ings scored it, people wouldn't bat an eye at it, but because it's Messi, people always care when he scores a good goal, I tell you. But yeah, so that was my Champions League prediction. A bit of a mixed bag. I had some unreal predictions there and some dreadful predictions, mainly just the Napoli one and Club Brugge. But then again, I think we all thought Club Brugge wouldn't get past. Right, so that is it, and it's February until the next Champions League predictions, but I will do a reaction to the Champions League draw and do a bit of an early prediction sort of video. So yeah, I'll see you lot then. Goodbye, you lot.